What's up, everyone? This is Moriel on the Moriel Show, and this is Wrestling Box Breaks. This is a different type of video. It's called the A Series, where we talk about our favorite wrestlers or wrestlers in general and their cards. So we want to know the history behind it, the price, and the future, and anything else in between that may affect card price in the future. This is made for informative purposes, for the buyer and seller, educational purposes, or even entertainment. My job today is to, show you guys what's up, what's going on with the rookie cards and such. So we are doing it on Stone Cold Steve Austin. We're going to be looking at the highlights for him, iconic cards, rookies and unique, price fluctuations, honorable mentions, contributions, justification for value, and questions. Who doesn't love a good question that someday they might have the answer to? So for highlights, for the toughest SOB, he was the poster boy of Attitude Era. I grew up watching him. My brothers and I did. He held 19 championships, probably the best WWE superstar. He headlined WrestleManias. He rivaled against Vince McMahon and The Rock. And his most recognizable gimmick was when he did Austin 316 at King of the Ring. And generally, a lot of this probably would have never happened if it wasn't for a young man in the 1989 to 90 wanting to be a wrestler. And so he ventured forth into the WCW as Stunning Steve Austin, Hollywood, and things didn't work out. So by that time, he had met Paul Heyman. I'm not really sure when that relationship was established, but Paul Heyman, he gave him his opportunity, and Stone Cold lit a firecracker up his butt. So, looking at where he came from to where he is now is extremely important, because he wrestled top superstars like The Rock, Vince McMahon being the owner and such. So how does what he did in the future, or past and present, or however you want to call it, how does that affect prices? Okay. So in order for us to understand that, let's look at some of his rookie cards. We'll get to the uniques. So in 1995 was pretty much his first appearance card. However, I am aware that from 1990 to 1994, Stone Cold still had cards. But I'm not too sure to say that those are his rookie cards, even though they're prior. I consider them like unique, okay? Because when I think of a true rookie, it's something or a card that is made available to the public in a high population, such as Stunning Steve Austin. And then when we look at the 1997 WWF Cardinal Trivia game, it featured Rocky Maivia. That's the rookie. That's the end-all, be-all for The Rock. That's the card everyone wants. And it has Stone Cold. And this is his SOB, the 316 heel face. And, these cards aren't cheap, surprisingly. Okay? And then you have the 1998 WWF Raw is War by Fleer of Stone Cold Steve Austin, and genuinely people think that is his rookie. So there are a lot of rookies, a lot of noise and smoke up in the air. So let's look at price fluctuations. And I decided that I wanted to look at the raw graded cards. No, I'm sorry, the raw cards only. Graded cards I did put in there, and we'll get to that. But looking at the 1995 WCW Stunning Steve Austin, he only sold for the low end. Low end is Series 1, high end is Series 2. So what the card went for at the lowest and what the card went for the highest. So 1995, the lowest possible value that I found in eBay, and I'm rounding up to, and I'm not including shipping or tax, was sold for $20. Okay. Now, if you're out on the market now looking for Stone Cold possibly in the low end as Stunning Steve Austin, expect to pay anywhere from $10 to $30. Now, when you're looking at high end Stunning Steve Austin, in the description might say PSA 8, BGS 9, SGC 10, or whatever it may be. In the description, so you're betting on to buy a card that may receive that grade. So that's what I mean by high end. And cards such like those are selling for $30 for Stunning Steve Austin. So if you're looking for a description like that fits the bill, expect anywhere from $20 to $40 for high end. And again, I forgot to mention, I'm using eBay completed sold items, because generally that's where I think most people look at. I'm not including ComCC, Macari, or other form Facebook, because a lot of the cards are sold for cheaper than what it is actually priced at on eBay. Even in regards to eBay selling it for cheap as well. Okay, so then we look at the 1998 Stone Cold Steve Austin for Attitude, and his card is selling for bulk. It comes in bulk, selling for $5. Okay, so if you want a cool Stone Cold Steve Austin, you're probably going to be paying anywhere from $5 to $15. Well, 0 to 15. Okay, that's not including shipping and tax. And then when you're looking at a high end, variation of the card, same card, but condition is nicer. Probably $15, anywhere from 5 to 25, I'd say. And I couldn't find any graded cards for the 1998 card, because that's why you see the question mark in there. And for 1995, Stunning Steve Austin, graded card for BGS 9.5 sold for $315 best offer. And I'm going to keep it at that price because that's probably what the card is worth now, or probably even more. Okay. So when I think of buying a card, I'm buying the card and it's generating value already, unless something happens. And, that's why I'm making these videos, because I want to present that information to you, because I had no idea. And I have so many of the 1995 card, I didn't know that they were selling for that cheap. And the reason why I got it, because at the time for eBay, before the listing expired, they're selling cards for like $100. Thank goodness I didn't buy any of them that price. Then we look at the 1997 Stone Cold Steve Austin card, and for the low end, if you're just wanting to get a quick card from him, probably pay $30, but expect to pay 20 to 40. And if you're looking for a card that might get you a good grade, if you plan on grading it, $90. $90 was the highest I'd seen it for a raw card. But, $80 to $100 from the time making this video, because that may be where the card is at. So it's not too bad paying $90 and then realizing, hey, that this card sold at best offer for $1,000. That's crazy. That's a huge turnaround. So, it's nuts. Looking at the prices and seeing where you're at, if you're able to get a lot of them in bulk and to grade them and turn them around at a profit, good. That's kind of what we want to see, right? So to me, prices are kind of low right now. They're not reflecting true value, and we'll get to that. So when we look at the honorable mentions, the uniques, we have the 1991 Cromie Luchadores card that sold for best offer at $135. And, it might be even worth more money. And when I was looking at the card, it was actually a PSA 6. So imagine a PSA 10 easily could be $1,000 for all I know. And I'm not sure if this card was made to the public, but it's nice to see that, from 89 to 94, we have the Austin card. Besides WCW being a legitimate thing. It's not like third party. And I'm not sure if this is third party or not, even though it says WCW. Then we have the 1993 WCW yearbook of Stone Cold Steve Austin. He is at the top left corner. And this is a rip card. It sold for best offer for $110, but look how many cards you're getting too. You're getting McFoley. I see Snuka. I see another McFoley, but that might be another person. But if you're looking for the single Stone Cold Steve Austin card, probably you'll be paying 30 to 50 is my guess, and it really depends on condition. Because if I were to buy the 1993 card, I'd only be wanting to buy the yearbook itself with everyone in it, because ripping the card might damage it, and that's that's not good. So, it's an awesome card. And then when we talk about modern things, like look at the 2020 Topps Transcendent, sold for $2,000 at best offer. So it's probably worth more than that. And the funny thing is that Stone Cold doesn't sign autographs. Well, now he does, but there's a 17-year hiatus where he didn't sign crap. So those were my uniques, honorable mentions. So the contributions that Stone Cold made or makes is the Broken Skulls podcast, and you should watch the one with Kurt Angle, because I love that Stone Cold is able to be in a podcast where he's supposed to meet one-on-one with a wrestler of the past, future, or present, and just get to know them on a personal level. Ask some questions that people may not have answered back then because of how politics was back then. I like to think of the podcast as a safe zone for a lot of wrestlers, for them just to have closure. And it's so neat to have Stone Cold to be able to hold a conversation with these guys for like 2 hours, because personally, I want that. Who doesn't want that? Just to sit down, just to reminisce, talk about the highlights, talk about how they can help each other, talk about how they can bring the youth, So he acted in numerous films, he aired in many TV shows, and he made special appearances in other forms of media. And, to top it all off is that this guy is larger than life. He can be anywhere and he'll get recognized. That's what I'm trying to say. And that affects card price, I do believe. So the justification for value, so the reason why you should buy his card is because rookies and unique are selling cheap. Even though that, 100, 135, 90 bucks, right now, eBay is not stabilized in terms of pricing because people haven't caught on with Stone Cold. Right now, we're so focused on his autograph cards right now that are coming out because, there was a hiatus of him not signing, And then you need to look at in terms of what do these old cards actually bring compared to the new ones. I personally believe that the Heritage sets captures the essence of Stone Cold. When I'm holding his card for any Heritage set, and you've seen them in the PowerPoint, when you hold it, it's like, man, this is an era that's never going to happen again. And that's so cool for me to actually realize that, because nowadays when you're holding cards, like, I have one of these, and when you're talking about like TNA Impact and stuff, there's not like, where's the story, So ultimately, prices are trending low. I don't think that will be like that for that long. So then you have graded cards in low populations. Graded cards, I think, will always be in low populations. But a lot of people that I've talked to don't really like graded cards of wrestling cards. And I don't understand that. I'm not too sure why, but they're always going to sell for high. So if you only have like 1 of 5 or whatever, then, flip it if you can. Because once the graded cards once they start pouring in, who knows? I don't know. So Stone Cold is still relevant, and that speaks, he's Stone Cold. Is he going to be relevant in the next 15, 20 years? So in case you noticed, there's the 2018 Leaf Pop Century card. So this, in 2018, is when Stone Cold started signing autographs again. And when we talk about the questions, okay, will prices of all cards be impacted if Stone Cold stops signing? Okay, on-card autos and so forth, memorabilia cards. First signed card was in 2001 in the 2001 Fleer set, Raw is War, and the second in 2018. So we're going back to the Leaf. And it's funny to mention that because the Leaf, it's not Topps. Stone Cold is a Vince McMahon guy. He's WWE exclusively. So if you're able to get a card from him not portrayed in Topps or WWE certified branding, you're going to get a lot of money. And when we jump to question 2, will the Toughest SOB remain exclusively with the WWE? Special appearances, interviews, or brand signing? How cool would it be if Stone Cold would be in AEW or Impact? Will that affect price? I generally think I do, And then is there still room for growth? Does Stone Cold need WWE? Can the WWE afford to lose Steve Austin? I don't think they can. Because Stone Cold's at the point of his career where, he's done it all. He doesn't need anything. Now it's like giving back. And a lot of the times, if he signs with a different company or even trading cards like Leaf, the Leaf card's going to sell for so much more compared to the Topps Transcendent or wherever his autograph is, because he's only going to be WWE. That's what I'm saying. Until he stops signing his contract and he can sign with other companies, those are the cards you want, I think. So with that being said, I hope this was informative. I hope you enjoyed this, maybe some entertainment or, some type of education or whatever it may be. Thanks again. Stay tuned. Like, comment, subscribe. And this is Wrestling Box Breaks. Adios.